Welcome everyone to What Are Macros, a nutrition lesson by your holistic fitness yoga trainer. That is me, Jen. I ran 4 miles today and I went to the gym this morning and I meditated twice. So it's a good day. All right. It's a very good day. And just got off a virtual yoga session with some of my friends, and it felt so good to connect with them and practice together. Today's been a great day. So I know you're watching my macronutrition lesson, but join me for my virtual yogas or my virtual meditations. I'm actually having a spiritual retreat virtually this weekend. So if you're watching this and you still have some time, please come and join me. It's going to be so much fun and it's going to be virtually, so you can join me from wherever you are, from wherever in the country you are, from wherever you are in your life, whatever place you are in mentally, physically. We can all join together and practice so many different transformative tools and modalities together. Anyway, let me stay focused. Here we are for macros, nutrition lesson. So, what are macros? So, I know if you have followed any fitness accounts or have followed any maybe nutrition plan or just have heard of this term macros, maybe you know what it is, maybe you have an idea, and maybe you don't. So, we're going to go through what macros are, what are examples of different macros, and why they are important. So, this is going to be a very brief and very superficial discussion about what are macros. So, I'm going to keep it straight to the point, unlike this intro, which is very long. I'm sorry. But we're going to really keep it very superficial with the macros. So I'm gonna have follow-up videos about different things that I think are important in nutrition. This is really not very encompassing of nutrition. Nutrition has a lot of different aspects. So FYI, we're keeping this very basic and just to the point. Take notes and screenshot and take pictures of different parts of this lesson, to help you remember and help you integrate these different points. Let's get started. So, what are macros? Macro is short for macronutrient. So, there are three different categories of macronutrients. So, there's proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So, when you think of the term counting calories, what it's composed of are macros. So that's proteins, carbs, or fats, and you'd be counting the grams of all of these components. So, why do macros matter? Why? How come? So, macronutrients make up our calories, right? Like I just mentioned before. What is a calorie? You want to know what a calorie is? A calorie is a unit of energy. So, basically, we are consuming these calories, we're consuming this energy, and that energy is going to sustain our life, our body, our functions, our thought processes. Everything is coming from this energy that we are consuming via food. So, all types of food, whether they are fats, protein, carbohydrates, or sugars, are important sources of calories, which people need to live and function. Now, this would make sense for what I just said, right? So, we need these calories, we need energy to live and function and sustain a lot of different processes in all of our body, all of it. We need energy for all of it. Let that sink in. And where do we get this energy from? Food. So when you hear the term food is fuel, it is literally fueling our cells, it's fueling our body, our nervous system, our circulatory circulatory. Sometimes what happens is with the bilingual is that they just like, yep, that's what happens. All right, so each cell in our body requires energy to function in its best state, which includes our brain and muscles. So tu cerebro, your brain needs energy to exist. Where do we get this energy from? Calories, from what you eat. Our muscles require energy to exist, to move, to stand, to recover. So, how does it do that? Via energy. Where does it get energy from? Calories. Where do calories come from? From what we consume, aka food. So, our brain and muscles require energy that we must get from food. So, here's the importance of consuming food, consuming what your body needs. It's a requirement for your body, its functions, and its processes. Sorry, guys. Okay, so not getting enough of those nutrients can result in short term and long term effects, some of which include losing lean muscle mass, difficulty concentrating, and a lack of energy. So, observe yourself when you feel low in energy, when you can't really concentrate. Have you ate? What have you ate today? Has it been things that have been more nutritionally dense or a little more superficial, more pleasing to the tastes and maybe not very, again, nutritionally dense? All right, so how many calories are in each macronutrient? So there are 4 calories in 1 gram of protein. So when you each gram of protein that you consume, you're generating 4 calories of energy. So for for carbohydrates, 1 gram of carbohydrates equal 4 calories of energy, and then 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. So when you look at it by how many calories are in each macronutrient, you can observe that there are more calories in fat than there are in protein and carbohydrates. You ask why? Why is the reason for that? I will tell you why the reason. The reason that we get 9 calories from fat and the importance of that is that acquiring energy from fat is the easiest. And also, you get more bang for your buck. You get 9 calories per fat. So, when your body is doing certain activities like running or walking, they look for a more energetic source. So, it goes to fat. So, something to keep in mind that these activities that require more energy, especially on a longer term, usually will take from fats because it offers the most energy. and it's easier to break down and use. All right, to continue. The amount of calories a person needs every day is different between individuals. It depends on the individual's activity, the individual's activity level, and resting metabolic rate. So me and you can need different amount of calories. Um, we can vary depending on our activity and also again those processes that go on behind the scenes. I think I need some water. So there are general guidelines or recommendations. I did read that it's not really recommended for women to go under about 1,500 calories. That is about the complete minimum baseline that a adult woman would need to sorry, thirsty. 1,500 calories is about the minimum that a adult woman would need to maintain her day-to-day bodily processes. So that is not including strenuous or other activity. So if someone is doing more than nothing, you would require more energy than that. Safe to say, a lot of clients I've worked with or that I've spoken to, for the most part, I've noticed that a lot of people are really eating a lot less calories than they should, and the composition of their calories are off. So if you have any questions about that, reach out to me and I can try to help you figure out a plan that can work for you and fits your lifestyle. All right, so the National Institutes of Health provides general guidelines for different ages and activity levels. So, middle aged, moderately active males should consume about 2,400 to 2,600 calories per day. And middle aged, moderately active males should consume about 2,000 calories per day. So, again, this number is a lot higher than most people are consuming. At least that's what I've found. Additionally to that, everyone again is different. They're at different activity levels. They have different goals. So these numbers are really a very general guideline. So I wouldn't, your number or the calories that may be more appropriate for what you're looking for and where you want to be might be different. So please don't take these numbers as definitive. Yours may be different. Again, reach out to me if you have any questions about that or want to figure out how to find out what the best or most ideal nutrition plan or um, even calorie intake should be for you. I'll be more than happy to help and guide you through that process. Continuing, so for an adult, 45 to 65% of calories should come from carbohydrates. So 45 to 65% of your calories should be from carbohydrates. So let's break this down. Let's break this down. I want you to follow me. All right. So the percentage is about your whole meal. So think about, you have a circle and you have your meal. So you have your plate and think about what you're going to eat. So we're fast forwarding a little bit, but we're going to think about, okay, let's try to find a range of that number. So let's say 50% of your calories, so half of all your calories should be from carbohydrates. So think about your plate, that would be half of your entire plate is carbohydrates. All right, this is a recommendation. Okay. So carbohydrates, you were going to learn exactly what foods are carbohydrates later on in the PowerPoint, but I will give you an example. Let's say rice or pasta, that's a carbohydrate. Most people know that as a carb. So half of your plate or half of your daily calorie intake should compose be composed of carbohydrates. Okay. Typically when people are looking to lose weight, especially um, or other diet modifications or diets, typically people cut out carbohydrates. Carbohydrates turn into sugar, and that is what our body uses first and foremost for energy. So, for a longer distance energy um, acquirement, or what I'm really trying to say, when our body needs to generate energy for a prolonged amount of time, so for an extended amount of time, the body will take from fats. Now, if the body needs quick, fast energy, or its first initial energy is being taken from sugar. Sugar comes from carbohydrates. You following me? So, this is why macros are important, because different macros serve in a different way and create energy in a different way, and turns into energy in a different way and serves different purposes. Okay. So, to think back to your plate, half of your calories for the day, looking about 45 to 65%. To think of it visually, half. Okay. Again, this is a generalization. So 20 to 25% should come from fat. All right. So 20 to 25% from fat. And then 10 to 35% should come from protein. So we can think about the each half of a half is fat and protein. This is from dietary reference intakes. You guys can look it up too. All right, so what is the importance of protein? We kind of went through it a little bit. We went through the importance of carbohydrates and of fats. And now we're specifically going to go into protein. We're going to do the other ones too, but we'll do this one first. So, protein is important because protein is in every cell in our body. Protein is in every cell in our body. So if protein is in every cell of our body, it's important because it's everywhere. That means it's the general composition of our body, because not everything is in every cell. Every cell has different um, structures, but protein's in everyone. So our body needs protein from the foods we eat to build and maintain our bones, our muscles, and our skin. So for our entire structure and the entire thing holding us together, we need protein to build and maintain all that. Seems pretty important, that darn protein, doesn't it? All right, so it's important to get enough dietary protein. You need to eat protein every day because your body doesn't store it in the way it stores fats or carbohydrates. So let's do with that. Let's unpack that. So, You can store fats, as we know, because different people store fats in different locations, and usually people call that the stubborn fat, the fat that, the unwanted fat, what we want, the fat that you want to get rid of. Okay, so we know that fat gets stored because we've seen it being stored in different locations. It's there. It's not there one day and then gone the other day. We would love that to be the case, right? But we know that it's not really the case usually unless there's something else going on. But so carbohydrates, same thing. They get stored in the liver, um, and they can get stored in the belly as well. All right, so to continue, so since protein is so important, where do I get it from? You don't say. Here are some examples of protein sources. So we got different meats like chicken, turkey. You can read that list if you want to. I don't really eat anything else other than chicken or turkey, and I don't judge you if you do eat something else, but I just don't want to think about a rabbit being eaten. All right, and seafood. So salmon, tuna, shrimp, oysters, scallops, and other fishes. Beans, peas, and lentils, nuts and seeds, soy products. Okay, that sounded like I said it weird. Soy products like tofu, tempeh, and eggs. So, for those of you that are vegan, vegetarian, or are trying to cut out meat, or don't like meat, or whatever, if you want to add in more protein into your diet, beans, peas, lentils, nuts, seeds, and soy products will be your besties. All right, so it's going to be very important for you to learn how to incorporate these into your meals, your life, to eat more of them, to spice it up, make it fun. Really learn to use all these different protein sources, that are not meat, that are not seafood, not eggs, to give you that protein source that you need. Because, like we said, it's very important for all of your bodily processes. You need protein because they make up all of your cells. All right, they help support and maintain your muscles, your bones, your skin, so your entire being, this whole frame. Um and you don't have to get them from meats and seafood and eggs, um but you still need to get them. So yeah, so I would suggest, if you struggle with finding your protein sources, just screenshot this. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. Um, there's really great foods that you can make with these things. You can make some nice, fun salads with the peas, add in some more vegetables, make it a salad, add some tempeh on it, some tofu. Tempeh is like tofu, but I believe it's seasoned and it has like seeds in them. Pretty good though, so worth a try. Right. Got some protein pictures. Here's a couple pictures of some protein. Got some steak and chicken and salmon, and here's some beautiful peas over there, and beans. All right, so what is the importance of carbohydrates? Well, if you remember to the beginning of the PowerPoint, I said that carbohydrates, or carbs, are sugar molecules. So The broken down version of carbohydrates is glucose or sugar. So, our body breaks down carbohydrates into glucose. Glucose or blood sugar is the main source of energy for your body's cells, tissues, and organs. Let me repeat that again. Glucose or blood sugar is the main source of energy for your body's cells, tissues, and organs. Heard that right? So, sugar is the main source of energy for our cells and tissues and organs. So, everything that we need to function, and it comes from carbohydrates. So, when we are running away from carbs, I want you to remember that carbs are an essential energy source for our cells, our tissues, and our organs. There are different carbohydrate alternatives if you want more nutritionally dense options, but don't run away from the carbs. You need them. Switch them out for things that maybe feel more healthy, maybe align more with your body, with your gut, with your digestive system. Find what works, but don't run away from the carbs. Unless you have like a medical condition that you cannot have carbohydrates, okay, but don't do it just for, you know, wanting to lose weight. You can lose weight and still eat carbs. And if that sounds crazy to you and you can't imagine that being true and you want to find out how it is true, reach out to me, ask me how can I eat carbs and still lose weight, and I would love to help you and guide you through that. So reach out to me, let me know. I'll be more than happy to show you how you can still have bread and feel and look awesome. All right, so glucose can be used immediately or it can be stored in liver and muscles for later use. So before I mentioned that we know that fats get stored and carbohydrates get stored too. Um, and this glucose is stored in our liver and our muscles. All right, so where do we get these carbohydrates? So, from different grains, so like bread, noodles, pasta, crackers, cereals, and rice. Another type of carbohydrates are fruits, so apples, bananas, berries, mangoes, melons, and oranges. My absolute favorite way to get carbohydrates is through fruit. It makes me feel tropical and it makes me feel like I'm back at home where I belong on an island. Because WTF is all of this. I don't even know. So, another source of carbohydrates are dairy products, milk and yogurt, legumes. I never know how to say that, legumes. If I'm saying it wrong, let me know. Reach out. I'm okay with being corrected. Dried beans, lentils, and peas. Starchy vegetables like potatoes, corn, and peas. Snack foods and sweets like cakes, cookies, candy, and other desserts. And juices, sodas, fruit punch, fruit drinks, sports drinks, and energy drinks that contain sugar. So for the last two categories, which are snack foods and sweets, and all these different juices with added sugar, they are a source of carbohydrates, but I would recommend to try to balance foods that have a lot of added sugar. So, what that means is to avoid foods that have sugar added in them. Fruits have natural sugar in them, right? Grains as well, because it's coming from the carbohydrate. But these snack foods and sweets and juices, they have additional sugar. They have added sugar. These foods can have many calories but little nutrition. So here we go back to the nutritionally dense. So when you can think about the grains, the fruits, the dairy products, the beans, the vegetables, they have nutrition in them. They have different components in them that, vitamins. Whereas the snack foods and juices, etc., are not as nutritionally dense. So I'm not telling you to cut it out completely and never have it in your entire life, because if you can do that, if you're like on year like 20 and like you haven't had a donut in 20 years, amazing. Amazing. That's great. For the most part, that's like really hard and impossible to do. I don't even live that way. I have my guilty pleasures that I have in a balanced, moderate way, because it allows me to feel healthy and to feel balanced and not to feel so completely restrictive. Um, so I found that we are able to be more gentle on ourselves, more patient with ourselves, and understanding, and we adhere to a healthier lifestyle when we are very, again, gentle. When you try to completely cut something out and completely eliminate it and never have it again, and then beat yourself up about having it if you do, you tend to do these things from this like negative place and this, beating yourself place. And um, those things never really last. We don't like when things don't feel good. So let it feel good. Balance feels good. But again, if you found that you're able to just live your life with no donuts ever, you do you, boo. So the problem with eating or drinking too much added sugar is that it raises your blood sugar and also can make you gain weight. So it's important, super important. If you know me, you know that this is essential for me. And I tell the people around me, my mom makes fun of me that she's like, yeah, Jenny does this. She just reads labels. She reads the labels of everything. Yes, I'm an informed buyer. Informed buyer. Know what you're buying and know where you're putting your money. If it's not something you stand by, if it's not something that you agree with, don't buy it. And also look at the label, because don't let someone else just tell you or put into your body whatever they want to. You choose what you're putting into your body. At least be aware of it. At least look at it, be aware of it, and make an informed decision. We live in a place where things only grow and are run if they're bought. So if you don't agree with it, don't buy it. Okay, see, tangent, sorry. All right, read your labels is important. So read the nutrition facts label on the back of food packages to see if it has added sugars, and if so, how much. It literally says on the label added sugar, and then it'll say if there's zero, or they'll say how many grams there are. And once you start noticing that, you're gonna see look at your like very known sodas and fruity drinks and even fruit drinks that are bottled, they have ridiculous amounts of grams of sugar. And if you convert it to like spoons, it's like disgusting. It's like half of a bottle is just straight sugar. You wouldn't make your own juice that way, yet you're gonna buy that type of juice like that off the shelf. I don't think I know one person that would put about 40 spoonfuls of straight sugar into a drink and drink it. It would feel uncomfortable. But the way that these drinks and foods are prepared, um, you don't taste it. Anyway, read your labels, please. That's probably another PowerPoint that I'm gonna have to expand on. So let me know if you want more about labels, reading labels, and those sorts of things. So let me know. It's easier to create when I know what the needs are. So here's a picture of some carbohydrates. See that right top picture with the fruits? Like that, it's a dream for me. Pasta and bread, I also really like pasta and bread. Not that you're asking me, but just, yeah. So we got some pasta and bread there. Looks good. And then some nuts. Love me some nuts. So for those of you that have trouble with eating and like getting meals in and just can't seem to do that, try having smaller snacks throughout the day. So small continuous snacks throughout the day. Again, make it fun. I've learned to really make things taste good, by still keeping it clean and still keeping it balanced. Have some fruits as snacks, pack up some nuts, um, maybe some sandwiches. So there's a lot that you can play around with. So find what works for you, what you enjoy, and makes you excited about eating it, and makes you feel good about it, and makes your body feel good too. Um, and be patient while figuring this out in this process. It can take a little bit. All right, so what are the importance of fats? So fat is the source of essential fatty acids, which the body cannot make itself. So like the protein, the body can't make it itself. Fat helps the body absorb vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E. These are important vitamins to have in our body. They regulate our body and help with a bunch of different processes. And for our skin, our immune system, important stuff. So these vitamins can only be absorbed with the help of fats. So we need to ingest fats to help the absorption of these vitamins. And a small amount of fat is an essential part of a healthy, balanced diet. So you need fats. So when we think of the importance of these three macros, okay, what are they? Right? So proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. There are these diets out there where we restrict one of these macros, and then people wonder why they're losing weight, or are really surprised at why they're losing weight. And you're cutting out an entire macronutrient. So you're cutting out all those calories. Now what you're intaking is even less than what you're expending. So, there comes the weight loss. The real big issue with these diets is that they're typically not long term. You cannot completely cut out fats. We need them for absorption of these vitamins. You can't completely cut out carbohydrates because we need glucose. We need that immediate source of energy. So you can do those diets for a little while, but it's not something that you can sustain long term. So if you're feeling stuck, if you don't know where to go with that, if you want to learn how to create a sustainable plan for you on what fits your lifestyle, how it fits um, your likes, your wants, what you enjoy, um, but still make it in a way that is sustainable and that it's still healthy and balanced, let me know. I can help you with that. I can help you create that balanced um, intake. I can help you give you guidelines and we can go through it together. So let me know. All right, so two different types of fats. One is saturated fats. So it is not recommended for men to eat more than 30 grams of saturated fat a day, and women no more than 20 grams of saturated fats a day. So, saturated fats are fatty cuts of meat, sausages, butter, cheese, cream, ice cream, some popcorns, biscuits, pastries, coconut oil, coconut cream. Kind of skimmed through that, but those are the fats that we would try to balance out and to cut back and cut down. Um, that's the type of fats that we really try to stay away from. So, unsaturated fats, though, are the healthy fats that um, would help comprise our body of those fats to absorb vitamins. So, examples of unsaturated fats are plants, fish, olive oil, avocado, nuts and almonds, peanuts, oily fish like sardines and salmon. And it's recommended to reduce your overall fat intake from saturated fats for unsaturated fats. So, this helps reduce your risk for heart disease, like I mentioned before. These are some examples of some beautiful healthy fats. So we got some nuts on the left, we got some delicious avocado, and we got what looks like a poke bowl. If you never had a poke bowl, amazing. Amazing, amazing, great stuff. So yeah, we got some like salmon in there. Salmon's a great healthy fat. All right, so that is all that I have for today. I'm sure you're like, yeah, that was more than enough. Thanks. I hope you guys enjoyed my side comments and my humor. Some people don't understand it, and I'm sorry if you don't. I promise that I only do it for fun. I mean nothing, no harm by anything that I say, and I'm sorry if something did. I'm not here to offend anyone, okay? No, I really mean it. I really do. I'm not trying to offend anyone. All I'm trying to do is serve and help as many people as I can. And I really hope that this video taught you at least one thing, showed you something. If it did, reach out to me, screenshot this, share it on your story, or message me and tell me how this helped you, how this served you so that I can keep creating like this. It's a lot easier when I can see how it's helping, so then I can just create and build from that. And let me know if there's something else that you want to see or that you feel like would be very helpful or things that you still have questions about. Reach out, message me, let me know. So again, I can create more videos and information and help serve um, and give back, you know, and give you guys what you need. Okay. Again, I'm here to help. So thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one.